Selfie! So who doesn't love a perfect selfie? You know, I'm always reading my comments. A lot of you guys wanted to know how to take that perfect selfie. Well, I'm gonna show you my top 5 tips on how to take that perfect selfie. Number 1, to achieve the perfect selfie, it's all about the lighting. Okay, so you may ask, what kind of lighting? The perfect lighting is when the sun sets. You don't want the lighting to be too bright because it'll just wash you out. I first learned this tip during my wedding. My husband and I, we got married and we were in Santa Barbara by the beach and it was very kind of gloomy. And I was like, oh my gosh, my wedding photos are not gonna turn out great. But the photographer said, don't worry, because it's a little overcast, you are gonna have the perfect photos. And guess what? He is right. So when you're ready to take that selfie, make sure that the lighting is not bright. If you're indoors, you wanna make sure that you're facing the window. So if this is the window, you wanna make sure you're facing it, not away from it. You wanna make sure that the light you are getting is shining on you. And this, I am telling you, is the most flattering light. If you check out my selfies on my Instagram, I can guarantee you every single time I am facing a window. Now, if you have your back towards the window and you're taking your selfie, you'll see that the lighting is not as good. It'll actually darken up the photo. And even right now, as I'm filming Mowry's Quick Fix, I'm using natural light. I am actually facing a window, so it's very natural and beautiful. Tip number 2, chin down and camera up. I'm just gonna be honest, I do have a double chin. But sometimes you don't wanna see that double chin in a selfie. So what you wanna do is you just wanna make sure that you keep your chin down a little bit. As an actress, you know, I'm always doing photo shoots and I've been taking pictures ever since I was a little girl. And one tip that the photographer will always tell me is chin down, chin down. And I just feel like it just kind of erases that double chin. No, you don't have to have any plastic surgery here. It erases that double chin and it just kind of like elongates your jawline. All right, so you know they say the camera adds 10 pounds. Well, not if you angle it up high. It actually takes away 10 pounds. I'm telling you. So here's a tip. What you wanna do is you wanna make sure that the bottom of the phone is right at your eye line. And when you aim high, all of a sudden, you lose about 5 pounds. And then also another tip is it's all about the angles, baby, okay? All about the angles. If you just tend to not kind of like just look straight into the camera like that, it kind of flattens your face. So if you just kind of like just put a little angle at it and then have your chin down, you'll look like a supermodel. Throughout the years as an actress, I've taken so many photos and I've been able to analyze, you know, certain photos. And with that, I've found my perfect angle. So that I would say is another thing, you know, practice with your camera and just, you know, take some shots and just see what is your best side. And that's what we usually always say, like, you know, what is your best side? And my best side is this side. So I don't know if you know, whenever I'm like talking to the camera, if I'm talking to you guys, or if I'm taking a selfie, or if I'm even doing an interview, I kind of tend to talk this way. You know, I'm like, oh yeah, or I'll laugh, ha 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 ha. And it's the same thing when you are taking a selfie. You wanna make sure that you capture your good side. Our face is not symmetrically even, right? Certain angles will give off that symmetry, and they say the more symmetrical your face is, the better the picture looks, I guess. So it's all about just finding that proper angle. Now, we talked about selfies. If you are in an ussy, you better fight for your angle, I'm telling you, okay? You gotta fight for that angle. I do all the time. If I am in a picture with my husband and he happens to get on this side, I'm like, no, 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 honey, you are right here. So, you know, I can smile at the camera. If you need to pull rank, okay, and if it's going on your feed, you better fight for your angle. For a group photo, you wanna make sure that the person who's the tallest and with the longest arms is taking the ussy. That way, they get everybody in, and also they have a great angle. Number 3, know your filters. Study it, memorize it, learn it, be it. It's all about that filter, I am telling you. Certain filters will make you look softer, more vibrant. So when I do take a selfie, I take my time, okay? You don't wanna rush going through all of the filters. And I say this because sometimes it depends on how your makeup is. For example, if I have on a bright lip like what I'm wearing right now, I don't wanna choose a filter to wash out the vibrant color. Sometimes you don't necessarily need a filter. You can just kind of like use the natural lighting of the photo that you already have, and you can just go into edit and you can adjust the brightness, contrast, warmth, and that too can give you the perfect selfie. Number 4, this is like my favorite, and I feel like the most important. Pay attention to the background. No toilets. We don't want anybody coming in and crashing your selfie that you don't necessarily know. You know how sometimes there's people in the background like going, like holding up the peace sign, and you're like, wait a minute, who is that? So make sure you pay attention to your background. You also want to focus on things you actually want in your background. Composition, like, oh wow, that flower is beautiful. I want to make sure that I get that flower in the background, or that vibrant tree that's in the background. So you definitely want to pay attention to things that you also want in your background. Number 5, take several selfies. It's gonna take more than one photo to get that perfect shot. So don't be afraid to just kind of take your time. Sometimes you need to take lots of photos to find that perfect selfie, and if you don't want the other ones, just delete them. Another tip, when you're taking a selfie, make sure you be yourself. Just be yourself. You don't have to do things that you wouldn't necessarily do, because when you look uncomfortable, I feel like you can definitely tell. Or, back off on the duck face a little bit. I'm being honest with you, I have done the duck face several times, okay? And I'll tell you why I do it, because it just gives you cheekbones. I mean, it just slims your face all of a sudden. So I don't mind the duck face. I'm just saying you don't want every single one of your selfies on your feed to be duck face. And trust me, I've seen it and it don't look cute. All right, guys, here's a challenge. Take these tips and take your best selfie. Then tag the Tia Mowry's Quick Fix account on Instagram, and then I will pick my favorites and regram them on Tia Mowry's Quick Fix Instagram page. I hope you guys enjoyed my tips. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Bye!